As I mentioned when I was showing this picture, in colonial times, there were 3 ferries that served the city of Camden. And just a few yards from here, the middle ferry, also referred to as Cooper's Ferry, for William Cooper owned it in 1727, is the location where we can first document the sales of enslaved persons in the city of Camden.
I am truly delighted to welcome all of you to Rutgers University today. This truly is an auspicious occasion for all of us as we acknowledge our city's history as one of the destinations of the slave trade. There's a proverb that goes something like this: not to know is bad, but not to desire to know is worse.
This poem is entitled Camden's Slave Block. Much more than merely flesh and bone was paraded and sold here upon this stone. The hearts and souls of our African nations, the hopes and dreams of our future generations, valued less than cattle or other livestock, purchased right here on Camden's Slave Block.
Personally, as a member of the Camden County Historical Society since 2014, you can well imagine, because I knew of my great-grandfather, Henry Mathis, I have a keen interest in African-American history. I learned as I pursued this interest that in the state, particularly South Jersey, not only was New Jersey a bastion of abolitionism and a crucial route on the Underground Railroad to freedom in the North, but there are other facts as well. For example, New Jersey has a long and deliberate obscured its well-established support of slavery. Lincoln lost New Jersey in both its presidential elections. Camden was the main slave port for the Delaware River Valley until 1865. Thousands of enslaved men, women, and children were held in bondage in this state because this was the last northern state to abolish the practice of enslavement.
History of this great city of Camden. But it's more than just unveiling a plaque and talking about it today. It's about taking our youngsters and educating them of the importance of the struggles.
When we think about what has happened at these 3 markers, it reminds me of that famous quote by Dr. Martin Luther King that said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands of time of challenge and controversy." That could be so relevant back when those ships were pulling in, but it also can be very relevant today.
This is a very powerful moment for me. This is a very powerful moment for Camden. But please know what we do here echoes throughout our nation at a time of urgency when it comes to recognizing the truth of our country. And please know what we do here now is a sacred occasion because it elevates the voices of our history that so many attempts have been made to silence, to erase, to obscure, to pervert. I give my love today to the Camden Historical Society because you all are literally doing not just God's work, but are showing a level of patriotism that is so urgently needed right now in our nation.
My name is Hamilton. I'm on the executive board of the Middle Passage Project, and I want to want you to know that Camden has made me feel very welcome and connected. My history connects to your history. But part of what we do is to ask faith communities to come together to speak on what's brought us so far to this point.
Good afternoon. My name is Ann Cobb, and I am an executive board member of Middle Passage Ceremonies and Port Markers Project, which Ann Chin mentioned. We are working and have been working since 2011 to install markers at the now 50 documented arrival sites around the United States.
Recently, in fact, this year, about 2 weeks ago, I finished a book written by Sawande Mustaqeen. It's called Slavery at Sea, Terror, Sex, and Sickness in the Middle Passage. Most of us who are of African descent, and actually some of us who may think that we are solely European descent, have ancestors who experienced the Middle Passage.
And we say, we are your children, Ashe. We pour libation to those who spoke the Jaliyah, the word, to tell the stories, to tell the truth, to tell the history, even as we heard it spoken today. To those who have passed on, we say, we are your children, Ashe. Those named and unnamed. To those who spoke the word seed as it crossed the oceans, we say, we are your children. To those who spoke words of courage and rebellion, and we call forth their names. Who are they? Mary McLeod Bethune.
Eritrea, Ethiopia, Burkina Faso, Burundi.
Kenya, Lesotho, Benin, Botswana.
Tunisia, Uganda, Madagascar, Malawi.
Hamilton, Turkey, Dix, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Duke Ellington. Let's go!
All right.
Julian Glover!
Did you throw your flowers?
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.